Okay, so good evening. Um, it is 9:07 p.m. Monday, October 9th. Um, I took my radiation detox salt soda bath, right? I thought that would help reduce some of the energy or some of the frequencies that are being concentrated on my brain. So it's like basically right here, or basically somewhere at like the top of the spinal cord, where the brain, or where the skull meets the spine. There's a crazy amount of energy. Um, I don't know if, but it's like right here. It's like between where my two fingers are. Actually, actually, it's more concentrated right here. Where my two fingers are, I could feel. Ooh, that's the exact spot right there. There's a crazy amount of energy. Oh, that's so okay. That's the exact spot right there. There's a crazy amount of energy right there, and I could feel that. I could feel the thermal magnetic presence of a beam going through the back of my fingers. Anyway, I did the detox bath, hoping that would help, but that didn't help. Well, I mean, the rest, like everything else, feels okay. Um, my lower back is still hurting just a little bit, but that's probably from maybe deep cellular damage because they have like a constant frequency on my lower lumbar. Um, I'm gonna share a picture of what's called spine frequencies, right? And it's gonna look like this. So, what I was doing to try to see if I can reduce some of the energy that's being concentrated and beamed into my brain. See, with the right angle, my fingers basically cause like an interference in the beam itself. So it's like you're seeing like the okay, so on the back side of my right of my index finger and middle finger of my hand, on the backhand side, that's the beam itself, and it's coming at like an angle, and it's like it's coming from up, and I don't know if they're like, it's almost as if like they're shifting its direction right now as I'm talking about it. Like as I'm talking about it, it feels like they're shifting the direction of the beam a little bit. Oh, man, I wish this camera could see near infrared or far infrared. Because if it could, I'm telling you, like if people could see the beams that are connected to their body into their auras, yo, it would be a revolution all across the world right now. It would be a full blown revolution all across the world. You think the Boston Tea Party was something? You think World War One and Two was something? Yo, when people finally get awakened to the idea that these people are not undetectable. They're not unbeatable. It's just that there's just not enough people with courage. There's not enough people with heart to actually, want to fight for true freedom again. Because it's like I could literally feel the thermal and magnetic presence of the beam going through my hand and connecting to that part of the brain. I don't think it's necessary. Like, it's like it's coming from the top, but it's not. I don't think it's necessarily dealing with the cerebellum, or it's like it's just going straight to the midbrain, but they're just coming from a different angle, and then there's just so much more. There's just so much more power carried with the frequency. But anyway, yeah, the funny thing is, I thought it was mostly coming from my phone. So I had the frequency for the top part of the spine, where the brain is. I believe on the chart it said, what was it? What was it? Dang. I can't recall the number. I can't recall the number right now. Hold on. It was 128.43. But I'm using the 432 hertz setting because that's supposed to be the frequency. So my frequency generator app, I have it tuned to 432. Is it 432? Yeah, 432. Because that's supposed to be the tuning for healing energies, right? So 128.43, that frequency is for the vertebrae that deals with the brain, face, well, you see the chart. You see the chart. Anyway, so I had set that as my carrier wave. And then for the beat, I mixed between using 7.8, which is supposed to be the frequency for orgonite, which turns radiation or harmful energy into healing energy. And then I also used 15 hertz, which basically clears energy blockages. And it also frees up your aura of emotional energy blockages as well. But none of them were working. Well, they would work to some degree, but it wouldn't completely take away much of the feeling that I'm getting. Because right now it feels like...
Maybe.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. But yeah, so I was trying to see if I could use those frequencies to try to see if I could reduce the amount of energy that is being, beamed all in the back of the head. And it reduced some of it, but not all of it. And then it wasn't until like a few minutes ago, my girl, she was sitting next to me playing playing a game on her phone. And then what I did was I had my hand over just resting my hand on my lap, my right hand, and then all of a sudden I just decided to just take my hand and I just went like this, right? And then all of a sudden I started feeling a connection to a beam. So as I'm feeling the connection to the beam, I'm like, where is that coming from? Not only are they using my phone, to connect to my brain, but they're using her phone as well. They're transferring energy from both phones. They're using both phones basically as transmitters to create like a combined amplified power frequency to, basically cause me harm, right? Now, the thing is, they oftentimes like to keep saying, oh, the military don't want you knowing about technology. Oh, the military this. Oh, you a snitch. Oh, the streets. They done told me the military is after me. They done told me the streets is after me. They done told me everybody in my everybody they done told me so many different things, right? And it's like, the funny thing is, the devil is a liar. You always gotta remember that the devil is a liar, and the devil is a master of deception. The devil is a master of deception. Now, let me tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this, right? I watched this video earlier today, right? Look up End Times Productions, right? On YouTube. Look up End Time Production or End Times Production. I don't know. It should pop up either one. The most recent video, look up the one that says, or watch the video that says there's something biblical happening in Jerusalem. Watch that one. Watch that video, right? And just a reminder for anyone new watching my videos. What you are seeing me do is I am relieving pressure from my brain. I'm relieving pressure from my brain because when you're using radio frequencies or electromagnetic energy or radiation to basically heat the cells or heat tissue, basically that's what's happening. They're heating the tissue of my brain using sensors and I believe the sensors a combination of both sensors and ultrasound coming from whether it's the cellular phone, especially a phone that's powerful enough to transmit enough data and energy to be able to do what they're doing, and how they're doing it. Boom. Look up home care monitoring. You're not going to see a weaponized version of it. You're not going to find that in black and white. You're not going to find it. That's considered classified information. I've already just went ahead and just put a little pin on that one. That's considered classified information. You're not going to find anything about the weaponized version of what they're doing. The version that you are going to see is what they're basically considering um, research studies, or you're gonna see the research study aspect of it. It's called home care monitoring, right? Basically, this is what's happening. Your phone, your cellular phone, your smartphone works as a personal server, a transmitter. It actually works as a middleman too. All the above, really. The phone is basically hard. Well, it is basically built to have. It has so many different types of sensors. It generates so much radiation, so much energy that they can use all these different things that's built in the phone to basically scan your body, of your bioelectric data. Bioelectric meaning your energy levels of your cells, everything from your blood pressure, pulse, heart rate, a number of different things. But that's just the stuff that they'll tell you. But it can scan a lot more than just that. Look into home care monitoring, right? And then look up low power wide area body network. Um, Basically, what's happening is your body is electric, right? Your heart, your heart produces the biggest amount of electricity throughout your entire body. It's not even your brain doesn't even produce as much electricity as your heart does, right? So, your heart basically creates this huge electromagnetic field around your body. The cell phones, the sensors in the phones are scanning your entire aura and basically decoding the information within your biofield, and then it converts that data in the phone. It converts that data in the phone and transfers it from bioelectric data into radio frequency so then it could be received into by another transmitter, whether it's a Wi-Fi router that's probably been hacked, or whether it's a cell tower, a digital cell tower. Digital cell tower, you can't see a digital cell tower, but it operates just like a regular cell tower, but you can't see it. And then it's then placed into the cloud. And then in the cloud, they have certain clearances and passwords or whatever where they can be able to access this information. You yourself, if you're not a part of the secrecy, you probably don't have access to your own data. It's sent to the cloud, and then it's converted from radio frequency into computer binary, where then someone at a remote location, whether it's a fusion center, a hospital, hell, someone's laptop that's just connecting to the cloud from anywhere. You gotta use the bathroom again?
No.
All right. No. But anyway, um, yeah. So at that remote location, wherever they are, and most of the time for TIs, a lot of times they're probably either operating from a car that's parked outside of your building or your house, and they're sitting in. And I'm gonna tell you this: if you start saying certain things, especially if you have synthetic telepathy, right? If you start saying certain things or you start doing things that make you feel like your vibrations are being lifted, and then the moment you start to feel like your vibrations are being lifted or you're feeling better about how you feel or whatever, and you start to hear a car horn, that's them. And then your area. You know if you have a lot of if you have a lot of traffic or whatever. You know what your area is like. So if you start raising your vibration in your home, and then all of a sudden you start hearing these car horns, and they don't it'll never be like regular like street car like a regular like someone's in traffic and they're like meh, meh, or like meh. No, it's the way they honk their horn, stuff like that too. Well, you know what? I'm not even gonna get into all that. I'm gonna just assume that somebody's just using the bathroom. The way they honk their horns, right? It's almost like Morse code. And then the crazy thing is, you will hear what sounds like one car horn. Sometimes you may hear one car honk its horn like ding ding ding, and then you may hear another one going ding ding, like it would sound like almost as if they're communicating with each other. But anyway, I'm feeling some of the energy kind of decrease a little bit. There's this huge like the energy that's coming off of my phone is crazy. But when I turn my palm facing the phone, that's when I really feel the sensors. When I turn my palm facing the phone, that's when I really feel the sensors and the energy, the radiation coming off the phone and being directed into a beam. I mean, this is probably the phased array hardware, the phased array hardware being utilized as a weapon. Because remember, the phased array basically acts as like dozens of tiny little antennas that are all like propagating, like it's like you know what? This is what it looks like. So the phased array, you see how it's like multiple antennas basically sending out frequencies, right? They all sending out radio frequencies. But then there's from all those different frequencies being blown out, they basically can create one directional, they can concentrate them into like one directional beam that they can steer. It's not just used for connecting to cell towers, no. They're using that to basically transmit radio frequencies into our bodies and then manipulate our moods, our health, um, manipulate the neurons in our body. And it's like I have my hand up here because my aura is even up here. So remember, your aura is like a big sphere around your body. And what they have done was basically infect your aura. They have infected your aura. So now it's as if like there's an energy bubble within your aura. And they're basically transmitting. It's like there's an energy bubble within your aura, and then they basically are transmitting a controlled beam to specific parts of the body. And that's one that I actually just traced like just now. Like that's the one that's one that's actually going into my heart like at this very moment. And it's all coming from the phone. Even if I turn my phone off, it would still be transmitting energy or transferring energy rather. Because as long as there's a charge in the device, and the thing about iPhones is like even if it's dead, if it says it's dead, or it won't even officially be dead, because if you still see like the little battery symbol, if you press the power button, you see the battery symbol and then the red part, meaning to like charge your phone, it's not dead yet. There's still a charge in it. So they can still use whatever radiation coming from the battery and from the phone, they can still use that to basically attack you with it. So they're like going after my heart and my brain right now. And I know my girl, she's trying to like be strong or whatever, because this is definitely, I mean, this isn't easy for anyone to take, really. I mean, like, knowing that like you're being secretly slow killed by people that you've done absolutely nothing to, but they're just mad because you won't conform to their transhumanist agenda, their what's the words I'm looking for? Their technocratic communist society. That's what it is. A technocratic communist society. But they're not ready to come out yet. So they're just going to continue to operate secretly, but they're not ready to come out yet. When they come out, that's when you know that it's some stuff really about to happen in the world. Right now, we still just dealing with the covert stuff. So it's going to get a lot uglier. It's going to get a lot uglier. That's why you got to start getting yourself spiritually in line with God. You got to start getting yourself spiritually tuned, because we're still not even at like the tip of the iceberg. And I'm talking about the bottom tip. I'm not talking about the top tip. I'm talking about the bottom tip. I'm talking about the bottom tip, not the top tip of the iceberg, the bottom tip. That bottom tip, that's when we're going to see everything just going wrong. But I'm like, you know what? We can't really allow ourselves to be too fearful of that, because why? Every few centuries, the earth has to be cleansed. Every few centuries, or every few century, the earth has to be cleansed. And humanity has to be reminded that God is still a very presence in his world. Yeah, so that's just me trying to like depressurize my brain, because it's a lot that's coming from above, and it's like it's heating up the brain, which is probably releasing gas inside the skull. And then when I open my jaw, I don't know if you can hear it. So that popping sound you hear, I think that's probably the paramecium lifting up and down, I think. Because remember, the paramecium covers the entire brain, right? It's supposed to be that thin layer, that protective layer that's supposed to contain the cerebral fluid inside the brain. But what they did a long time ago was they pierced, I believe they pierced the paramecium, and they drained the cerebral fluid from my cranium, from the cranium. They drained it, so then it's just nothing but just the tissue of the brain itself. So what they're doing, now they attach the frequency to my left kidney. That's coming from the phone too. I'm telling you, when you realize that your phone, yeah, they basically are now using a frequency to concentrate. Press and hold the button in the middle. It's not going to stop. Actually, look, just turn it, like take the whole thing, turn it with your hand. Oh, all right. So what you do now?
Oh, you want to hold on to it? You could show them.
No, what you're gonna do is take one of the shungite matters and just place it right on top. You could probably feel it's here. The frequency is right here. Just use your right hand. You could feel it that way. Yeah. So, hi, Amadi.
I haven't finished recording.
Oh, almost. All right. I gotta get back to being a family guy. So, yeah. This is just, yeah. This is what's happening to people across the world, not just in America. It's people all over the world. And you know what? We have to endure until the very end. Those of us who believe in God and believe in the spiritual realm and afterlife and everything that is hard to perceive if you're living with a worldly view. We just have to endure to the very end. So I'm gonna end it here because my attention is needed. Take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.